Hello, and welcome to a special Saturday edition of the Morning Skate Podcast. We will be going game by game through the Saturday slate and breaking it all down. Let's get into things.
You're saying they're looking like an idiot.
Well, is that any different than normal?
This is the first time I will admit was unbelievably wrong.
All right, DJ. I believe I have found the first use of the not the light background mode on browser, because it certainly looks much worse than when I have the bright white Excel up in front of my face here. You can see the flashbang. Yeah.
That is a lot. Yeah.
Yeah. Crazy, right? So there you go. The first time I've ever found a use in light mode. I think anyone who uses light mode is a serial killer.
Depends on who you ask. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I like dark mode more for you, but that's just me. We have plenty of NHL games. You're welcome. I'm always here for you. Plenty of games to cover. Not lacking news, not lacking notes, not lacking anything. So I don't really know if there's a million things to get to up the top. There are 5 birthdays today for those keeping score at home. Michael McCarron scoring his first goal for Minnesota last night, not on this slate. Jacob Peltier, I don't know if he's playing for Calgary honestly right now. He should be probably.
No, he's in the Tampa system now.
Oh my, he got traded. Oh yeah, he did, didn't he? Whatever. Sure. I forgot about him. I forget. Rasmus Sandin, happy birthday. I think he started already. And Dylan Strome. Happy birthday to Dylan Strome as well, already playing. And finally, Steven
double
Sanderson.
Birthday narrative. Damn.
Yeah, we are fraudulent fraudsters who, I didn't even play the showdown slate, so I can't even get mad at myself for not playing that combo. But we have a 3 p.m. Rangers Devils game with a showdown slate. If you're interested in playing the showdown slate, some news, some notes, 2 teams that, frankly, kind of suck. Devils have looked better as of late. The Rangers have looked, I don't know, interesting-ish. Any initial thoughts or anything you want to get to before we dive right into game number 1?
Well, yeah, let me figure out my screen situation here.
It is crazy.
The
Rangers coming off of go back 2 nights ago, and the Rangers, 6-2 whomping over the dead Leafs. It is the end of fall type of Leaf situation out there for the Toronto Maple Leafs, and not a budding spring for Leafs, even though the seasons have certainly shifted. Losing 6-2 to the Rangers should just have everybody be fired all at once. They took the coward route, did not do that. The Devils, on the other hand, also just came off a win over Toronto in their last game, only 4-3 in overtime. So it sounds to me like the Rangers are guaranteed winners based on the transitive property. This game is kind of stinky, as you're showing. I'm not that interested in this game in in a huge way, but there's some players in huge roles. Like Perreault is quite literally top line, top power play. 6-goal game.
They're all 0
points. Yeah.
Okay. Because I think
I don't know. That was
net, right?
From Japan.
Yeah. Lafreniere was out there with the empty net, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I think so. Maybe not the empty net. But
the main thing though is that they didn't trade Vinny Trocheck, so they have a real top 6 still. Like they scratched Trocheck in preparation for a trade, and then they were like, "Actually, just kidding, guys. It's all set." So
Chris
they should
really
be
not having a W trade deadline.
Yeah,
I don't know if I won't make him dead last, but he's up there in worst trade deadline performances. Go on.
Yeah, so as far as comparing to like the most recent game, it does seem like it'll be less of a one-line team than before, just in terms of time on ice. So yeah, last game it was Lafreniere up where Will Cooley is. I'm guessing because Lafreniere and Trocheck have such good chemistry that they just reunite those two and sort of do the thing we're seeing here. But we'll need to check out the line rushes before the 3:00 start. We won't get those to like 2:50 because this is a nationally broadcast game, and for some reason the NHL insists on setting the start time as 25 minutes before puck drop. for God knows what reason. But otherwise, they didn't really do much of interest. I mean, they traded Sam Carrick, so insert who knows. They got rid of Brennan Othman, who wasn't in the organization's plans, I guess. Yeah, I don't think there's any like real winners down the lineup here. I mean, is there anyone that you are like squinting at to say, oh,
I mean,
this could be a dude?
we've already seen it with Perot. Like he was already kind of winning that entire narrative. I think the question is who comes off the top power play. I think you're kind of projecting it to Will Cooley, and that would make sense because the Rangers are idiots and they're probably going to make their power play as inefficient as possible. Even though Will Cooley adds an element that no one else adds. I agree with what you have here. I think that based on coach speak too, like Gabe Perreault is a very big factor and down the stretch what they want to see, and he's played every bit of the part. Not offered for a power play point. I didn't find it, at least maybe on your insane nonsense books, like you fart whatever book you might find him. I don't know. Don't see him anywhere. Was interested in just grabbing that if it was plus 600 or better, but not an option. He's shooting a bit, but it's not anything like it. I think I assumed his profile was a bit better for shooting than it was. Like he certainly looks like more of a playmaker. For a point or for an assist, I think that's what you're probably looking at here. He's.
If only someone had tried to tell you this before you bet all of his shot props.
Yeah, I wasn't happy about that either after I did it. So that's also true.
Would be a huge shame if someone had tried to tell you, hey, he's not a shooter.
Is unabated just not showing him?
It's probably really the Gabriel thing.
It probably is. There's just no way. He is plus 145 for a point. Well, I guess let's look if he's there for a power play point. Nope. What is he for an assist? That's really what I was wondering about. If he's like 200 or better, he is plus 275 for an assist. Like that is probably getting clicked by me.
Yeah. I also don't mind the angle. If you've been in the MSB Discord, we've had a pretty good week in the betting channel. I've been posting. Basically, I realized last week that I'm pretty sure DK overcorrected their SGP engine for the NHL, and giving this away to 19 of my closest friends, now 20. Thanks for hanging out. Where if they don't have the lines right, I think they're under correlating power play mates. And so if you can get a guy who is a possible power play mate and a possible 5-on-5 line mate who isn't listed as such, like there's just such a clear edge there right now versus other sports books. I don't have a way to, strictly price it. I'm not running sims on NHL games or anything. But, when you compare across books and DK's SGP engine of goal plus assist for two players is like 200 points better, and you click on two guys who are completely uncorrelated, or you test like the parlay calculator and you see that the penalty is like way reduced for certain combinations of players, I've been really trying to lean into that this week. I think that's a great way to sort of closet your sharp action. I think I have more than enough donkey bets in my account that it's safe, but who knows, can't be too safe when it comes to it. And I do think that on DK, there's a specific edge there. So with that in mind, just thinking through like how this game could play out. Well, last game, Cooley and Perreault weren't on the same line and power play unit. So let's see what, Will Cooley goal plus a Gabe Perreault assist looks like.
13-1.
Yeah, like that to me feels really solid. There's a chance they don't play together on the power play, of course. As we're projecting actually, but like it's unknown right now, basically, if Trocheck comes back in and they want to keep the net front presence or whatever.
I mean, it's how much do you trust Sullivan to be not a donkey is the bet you're making there. So FanDuel, for just sake of completeness, it's plus 827 for the same bet. Perreault assist plus Cooley goal, so like a very big distinction there. I mean, I don't know, whatever, however you want to look at it. Of course, you look at the implied odds comparatively to like just those numbers, and it's not maybe as big as you'd think, but certainly would rather 13-1 than 8.27. You know what? I mean, you son of a bitch, I'm in $30 on Cooley goal from Gabe Perreault assist. That's fun.
certainly one that I'll keep in mind. I have a 20% all-purpose boost, and then there's the goal scorer boost as well on DK that I'm looking for first and foremost. But obviously, that is one that I think we have pretty good reason to believe will be, correlated at 5-on-5 at the very least. So I do like the Rangers side a little bit here. Getting over to New Jersey, what the hell did they do? So Pesci's out like week to week. I think they're just shutting him down. They don't need him necessarily. I'm not sure if we have updated line combinations. There's an H and his name isn't there. Yeah. But they didn't trade anyone of note, right? They're just sticking with their squad.
Yeah, they didn't do much. There was all the rumors in the world about like every defenseman being available, and then maybe not every defenseman, and then it's like actually none of them are going to move. I mean, again, it's like if I could rate every GM's performance on the deadline, this game gives you the perfect example of who was worth Fitz or Drury. I think it has to be Fitz being worse because he truly did nothing. He like to the point where he waived two players that you would think could at least get like a seventh. I don't understand how you just walk away from like what Dadanoff, and I can't even think of the other guy that I was like, man, like couldn't even get future considerations just to move a guy. Like I get the contracts are bad, but take a little salary. This season.
Who was the second one you said?
I'm trying to think of who it was. They waived Dadanoff and I'm gonna think of it eventually. It's not even like a great player. It's just kind of someone that you're like, huh, like again, like you put both these two together, and you're like, how do neither of them get anything?
Oh, Siplikov.
Yeah, Siplikov.
Oh,
yeah,
that's right. And Glendening. Okay, yeah.
Glendening got claimed. I'm pretty sure.
I'm sure he did.
Like someone wanted him. I just don't understand. Like the Stars wouldn't throw a 6th-round pick over to get Dadanoff back, and you know what I mean. It just kind of seems weird. Like if that could have happened, I don't know. I just the mismanagement of assets here seems of note. Like, and they're going to fire him at the end of the year. Like, why did you let this guy do another trade deadline? I don't understand. I mean, again, will they fire him? I guess I don't have a crystal ball and I'm not in that room, but God, it seems like he's going to get fired, and they just let him do another trade deadline where he completely mismanaged assets again. Yeah, I mean, as Tom Wilson's pointing out, like Camp went for a 6, like a guy that Toronto was actively trying to get rid of. They're like, we need to get rid of this guy. We hate him. Please take him. I don't understand. Drury, like, at least you could say like he didn't give Trocheck away for nothing, and like moved Carrick for something. It like Fitz is the worst. I think he might be the other than maybe Ken Holland, and like you could argue Stan Bowman. I think he gets the my worst possible grade.
I think that is accurate. Looks like last game they moved Gritzuk off the top power play, so that's a bummer. But Jesper Bratt back, back with Hughes.
Hughes, Brown, Hischier, Hamilton, got to be just giving Connor Brown minutes. It's worked really well for them this year. Great contract signing by Fitz. Got to stick to it. Makes sense to me. Yeah, it's just it's a garbage. I think what makes me the most upset about the Devils, I'm not a Devils fan at all, but before the year started, this was one of the teams I was probably the highest on. I said like I was, I picked them to win their division. Like I thought this team had a legitimate Stanley Cup chance. And they folded unbelievably hard. Like the Rangers too. I mean, I think we were high enough on them. We were like them as at least a wild card team, if not slipping into one of the division spots. It was an incredibly popular pick, so we weren't alone on that island. But two incredibly disappointing teams matching up in a game that means nothing, and it just feels like they're who is going to get a little bit more run. It just feels like these teams aren't even trying to give guys that you want to see what they can do any more run. Like, so why not give Simone Demisch a bit more, than 19 minutes? Like if you're going to keep him or I don't understand. So yeah, I'm not that interested in this game from a betting perspective. I'm definitely just more interested on the Ranger side of the house than the Devils. I don't like this lineup configuration. I don't really see anybody that stands out in a huge way. Like, it's the Perot Cooley bet. I think I just move on. None of these bets are making my favorites. This game is not incredibly high pace. I don't know if you, again, like, are you seeing something that I'm not seeing here?
Not at all. Let's move to the 5:30 window where we have 2 games, interestingly, Nashville at Buffalo and Philly at Pittsburgh. I believe O'Reilly was back skating yesterday, so I think he's okay now. They were another team that was, rumored to be possibly selling and just didn't.
Yep.
So they got rid of Nick Blankenberg, didn't they? So there's that.
I mean, they got rid of McCarron, they got rid of Blankenberg, they got rid of Cole Smith. I mean, they
sure,
moved out.
yeah.
They moved out the nothing pieces.
Didn't we talked about that? Because that was Wednesday, right? Or am I tripping?
Around then. I mean, again, like if you want to be charitable to the Nashville Predators, there is at least something to like having your reputation as a team and general manager tarnished by doing something that is anti-player. And like it definitely seems like Ryan O'Reilly and Steven Stamkos didn't want to go. I was surprised that Marchessault didn't move. It just that one seemed to be open. Not getting that done feels like a miss by them, but like look at the Capitals right now today. Like there is a lot of people out there saying that what they did to John Carlson was egregious. I mean, I'm not really in that camp. Like, sorry, the deal got done at 1 a.m. and you were sleeping, but like that's what happens. But still, you don't really want that when you're trying to kind of retool, which is by all sounds of it, what they're trying to do is they're not going through a full rebuild. They want to retool and put things together. There's one guy in this game that is head and shoulders above the rest as far as what I'm interested in, and that's Matthew Wood. Getting the role he's getting. It's not perfect, and it certainly could be. We've seen it, but the thing is, we've seen this before, and it's gone immediately away. So buyer beware. But we did see 14 minutes. We did see power play. We did see him with Forsberg, Evangelista, 2 guys that are definite playmakers. I know Forsberg's a great rate shooter as well, but like this is a real role for him. And I wonder if there weren't so many power plays in that game where the top unit was out there so much that he didn't end up seeing 16, 17 minutes. So I think it could be wheels up. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I don't have the highest of hopes there because O'Reilly was back at practice yesterday in his spot next to Stamkos. Now, both Howla and Marchessault missed practice. We don't know why. But they had a coach fill in on the wing, so at least one of those guys is healthy. My guess is that it's Marchessault. But yeah, I guess it's possible Eric Howla misses, in which case it's the same thing as last game where, okay, O'Reilly's your number 1 and then Wood's the number 2 center and gets Philip Forsberg. But I don't have the most confidence in that. And I certainly would wait until warm-ups to actually place anything on Wood. Like, I don't think his props are so unbelievably good that like you're missing out if they do catch up to the fact that we like him and reduce his odds or whatever. Like he's 4-1 for a goal. It's not like 800 or whatever. Like Marchessault's 330 if he plays, and he'll be on the top power play. Evangelista's 4-1. Like, yeah, we're not missing anything. I think on Matt Wood here.
I mean, yeah. I mean, and Homer aside, like Buffalo is a good team. They have played well. It's hard to sit here and be like, great matchup here. We'll keep an eye on things.
Kemel's with the team. He's in a third line role for the moment with Jost and LaRue. It's possible if Howla plays, we get Wood Kemel. That would be pretty neat. If you're looking for like cheap DFS stuff, but let me actually pull in those prices.
Definitely, yeah. I know. I think you're just right though. We have to keep an eye on this. If Wood's on the second line, it could be wheels up. 2,800 in daily fantasy. Plus 420 is the best I'm seeing for goal. I'm not seeing any other bets, which is sad because he is profiles to be quite a great rate shooter, but not seeing any bets on that right now. So keep an eye on it. Forsberg shooting a lot. The Sabres are bleeding shots a bit because, again, score effects are going to be a factor when they're leading in many games and kind of consistently getting that first goal and maintaining leads. Like other teams are going to be shooting. So Nashville, no stranger to it. They're kind of on death's door as far as making the playoffs and traded off some assets. So, I don't mind going to some of these guys. Like Forsberg's numbers are incredible. Like I really do like him on the 2-game slate. This game is way more exciting than Philadelphia-Pittsburgh. So I would be game stacking here. I would be, if I'm game stacking, I'm not getting cute here. I'm playing Forsberg, I'm playing Yossi, and I'm playing a cheap piece around it. Like whether it is Matthew Wood or even Evangelista, like I don't mind that.
Yep. So more to come. We'll see what warm-ups look like for Nashville, but key guy is Eric Howla for me. If he's in, everything just gets a little worse because the minutes get spread out more. On the Buffalo side, we're probably seeing some fourth line rotation and maybe the third pair. Have you seen anything on Shen, Stanley in immigration type stuff?
No, I mean, would be very surprised to see
me too,
them
but
in.
Several players yesterday played who I'm like, oh, there's no way. Like, you're coming from Canada. So there's clearly something else at play, whether it's, citizenship or like Manjapani had played in the U.S. Recently. So maybe there's like a reason there. But like Shen has played in, everywhere. And Stanley, is, I think he's only been in Canada, right? He's only been with the Jets org.
I think of, yeah.
So I guess, and in any case, the main guys are not going to be impacted by that, is what I'm trying to get to. The game looks fine from a general pace standpoint. The Sabres obviously look a bit better in every category, not just the on-ice goals of it all. But it's split between three lines at the moment and two functional power play defensemen. Well, two pairs that feature power play defensemen. And like Dahlin, I think, got a little bit cucked last game when I think Power had a goal and an assist, and Dahlin might have had like one assist. So the pricing feels a little bit out of alignment with like how the actual production is flowing for the Sabres blue line. But of course, Dahlin is, your number one. It's just a matter of how important that is and how much you need to spend, 7,100 on him when you're getting really good production as of late from Samuelson. Powers ticked up a good bit too versus his historical baselines, and Byram's fine as well. So I like the defenders, but anything on the Sabres side you wanted to call out?
Not really. I mean, I think the Doan Norris is fine enough. Doan's shot volume has upticked again. Like he had profiled and came into Buffalo as a bit of a rate shooter type of guy, and him and Josh Norris have certainly looked fine together. So I wouldn't hate the idea of that stack. I think it'd be somewhat popular on the 2-game slate just because it does help you to afford some of the bigger pieces. But Tage and Tuck are the premium pieces and priced accordingly. Like both of them are shooting above 6 shot attempts per game over the last 5, looking great. Peyton Krebs is at the very least gives you a chance for an empty net goal, and other than that, does nothing. So you don't have to play him, but he's an option. And then any of these defensemen are fine. I'm just a sucker for Bowen Byram, I feel like, because you watch him play and you see like he has that explosive upside, but he's shooting the least of the bunch. Samuelson being just, him and Dahlin are the most, and then Power, like you said, has really come on and looked pretty solid. So yeah, it's all in all, keep an eye on, that kind of situation. I don't think there's any ancillary pieces that I'm like overtly into, but gun to head, like I'm still an Oslin guy. So like, if you're playing Norris and Doan, I think I just go Oslin as well.
Yeah, Oslin led the Sabres by a country mile in 5-on-5 ice time last game. I don't know why that is really, but
I know, right? Yeah.
What
I think I mean that line is good.
Yeah, there was some theatrics. Quinn, no, that was just a normal penalty, I think. Maybe a 4-minute high stick or something. Yeah, I don't see anyone who was like, 10-minute misconduct or whatever. So
Malkin.
Well, yeah, Malkin, but on the Sabres end of things, I don't know.
He was watching the World Baseball Classic before the game and got some ideas.
Oh, conspiracy theory. The Sabres are trying to showcase Oslin to trade him for Robert Thomas.
Not too late. If Barry Bettman has the courage, it's not too late.
I mean, they could trade for him today.
This is true. This is true.
Okay,
I mean, it's a bold enough strategy.
Thank you, Shams. Okay. I did not see that was official.
So yeah, no, I think
he's not on the slate, Tom. I looked for his name. I didn't. I couldn't. It's like a normal name. I think I've done this before. It's like Justin or Ryan or something. It's like, oh, okay, not like some Finnish dude. All right. Willie's here talking
again,
about. Willie's here talking about the tennis. I have not run my stuff for the day, but I am not aboard the Christina Buska bandwagon. Maybe I should be, but I certainly am not at the moment. I will be running that before 310 though. So this game, I don't think there's anything betting wise that I want to put my name to. It should be status quo.
Yeah, I'm surprised by how little interest I have here. Again, I'm just going to either Norris or Doan for a point, and it's honestly probably Norris. Like, he just seems more involved in the power play. So I'm just gonna, Norris point, and I'm gonna keep an eye on Wood, and that's really all I have. But we got to talk about the most important news of the entire slate, and that is one Mr. Alex Bump, who I do not think will be top power play. I'm sure, but like, I think he should be on one of them. Like, I don't know, I wouldn't be surprised to see him on either, but I guess I would be a little bit because he hasn't probably practiced there much.
I mean, they just traded Bobby Brink, so unless Konechny's returning,
that's a good question. Actually, it didn't seem imminent. Did they post anything about?
Yeah, no, they're just saying he will fill in for Brink. So the best assumption is the role Brink had, I think. So
yeah,
last game,
really excited to see this guy. Yeah, so do you want to talk about a little bit about Bump before we?
Let me just contextualize everything. Yeah, Brink was power play one with Drysdale, Michkov, Zegras, Tippett last game. Sanheim, York, Dvorak, Cates, Barkey was power play 2. So unless they're going to use Sean Couturier in the power play 1 role, like, I think it's Bump season. I think he's a right shot. But he's one of the most proficient shooters to come out of the NCAA ranks over the past decade or so. And he's crushed the AHL so far. He's at double the shot rate per game for AHL players. And also he's putting up points down there too. So for a 22-year-old, it seems like they struck some gold with this late 5th rounder, I think it is, maybe 4th rounder. Not on any DFS slate, but if you can find a prop or something, I would absolutely.
He is plus 460 for a goal on FanDuel. Have not seen him posted on DraftKings yet. I don't think you need to run to the mat to get that right now. Like, I don't think it's going to move much. Double checking quickly just to see if DraftKings has added him, and I don't see it.
I don't think so.
I'll tweet at them. I'll tweet at them and see if they add it.
Okay, great. I'm sure that'll work. Yeah, interested. No, because I'm not in the right game. That's why. All right. Philly at Pittsburgh. Is Alex Bump offered? Moment of truth. Just FanDuel. Okay.
Yeah, just FanDuel's all I saw. But yeah, I'll tweet at DK, see if we get one competitive line out there. And I mean, 460 is, probably fine. I can't even really
ultimately
think, maybe bad, but it's fun.
It's fun. And that line's not, oh my God, you gotta sell the house for it. But I think the argument is there that he should have a immediate offensive role. If not, I think he'll be next to Cates and Michkov. It just makes perfect sense. But they could just blow up their lineup and start him lower, in which case that's probably a fairish line because he's going to get a power play role of some sort. Whether it's 1 or 2, can't be positive. Let's see. Deluria got moved, but otherwise, I think there's no other. They're calling up some.
They're pretty boring.
Yeah.
Tough game, as you just kind of showed a second ago too. From the Philly perspective, but
Pittsburgh going to be without Evgeny Malkin. 5-game suspension for slashing Dahlin in the face. Turns out you can't do that.
Not supposed to.
Did we see lineups from these guys yesterday with all the trade deadline shit?
I'll let you take a peek. If last game against Buffalo, it was Chinikov that jumped up with no Malkin on the top power play. Rust, Raquel, Igor Chinikov were the top 3 guys in ice time. I was really hoping Kindle would jump up a little bit more. I almost got kind of bailed out by a not so great bet, I thought. But nope, it was Igor Chinikov who went a solid -3 in the game in 17 minutes. Actually, I think -4 because he got scored shorthanded as well. So not a great look there. So maybe they go to something else, but
Yeah,
I think what you have is probably what they should go with, and I
it's
don't know about power play, but let me look through.
we don't have anything. Yesterday was an
No,
optional, so um,
tough.
they didn't add, right? They traded for someone, but not like they were rumored to be in for LaFerriere, and then that didn't happen. Obviously, they traded for someone interesting, but not like crazy. Okay, so
I'll look.
Avery Hayes was sent down. I think he has to play a game down there. Did he play a game down there yesterday? And then he can be recalled. Okay, Koivinen's on his way back up. That's good news. We like Koivunen. Yeah, there's a lot of nonsense, but nothing. Okay, yeah, Avery Hayes is back up, and
Oh yeah, they got Elmer Soderblom. That's who they got.
that's right. Yep.
Okay.
Wait, how did they call up Hayes? I thought there was a rule where if you got sent to the AHL, you had to play a game before you get called up.
Sham says you don't.
Okay, great. I just made that up, I guess. I thought that was like a new thing to combat all these paper transactions. So let's just pretend Avery Hayes and Elmer Soderblom, and actually, this is probably Ville Koivunen, and then everything else we need to check for game time. Soderblom
this is a mess.
would be available, but yeah, we just don't know. Is this game's 5:30 or 5:30? So we'll know for the
5:30.
DFS slate what things look like, and we'll revisit that for
Yeah,
the betting card.
it's super unfortunate because I feel like one of these guys is going to be in such a premium spot, and we have no idea who it is.
It's got to be Chinikov. It sucks losing Malkin on the
Yeah.
wing, but like Chinikov getting
Yeah.
power play 1 is just so obviously good, I think.
Yeah, he's minus plus money on the score. Fuck that app for over 2.5 shots. But yeah, it's
Right.
something to consider.
So
I'm going to consider it, and then I'm probably going to bet Kindle and lose money.
I don't know why you would do that. So have fun.
Cool.
270 for a goal FanDuel.
Yeah, best odds
okay.
FanDuel.
600 on Hard Rock for a power play point. Otherwise, MGM and DK 575 for a power play point. That seems really solid. With Rust and Raquel, you know that top unit's going to get the lion's share of the time on ice. So
just goal plus Rust assist is plus 525 plus Raquel assist 575. Okay, not as insane as I would have liked.
No, yeah, that's. I would happily pass on that. So.
Yep. Just take a peek. Just taking a peek. Okay.
All right. Now we get to the main slate of the hockey. What the good people here are really here for. We have a 7-game slate that is Utah, Columbus, Montreal, LA. That LA home game starts at 7, so an afternoon game at LA. Tampa, Toronto, Vancouver, Winnipeg, Carolina, Calgary, Ottawa, Seattle, and the Islanders at the Sharks. Any of those games immediately jump off the page to you while I set this up?
I mean, the chalk of the night is going to be Winnipeg and Carolina. Like, it makes a lot of sense. The games are somewhat interesting, both for those two teams' perspectives. I think there will be some ownership on the Islanders as well with the way San Jose on a back-to-back, right? San Jose's on a back-to-back, right? Yeah,
yes.
They just lost yesterday to St. Louis. Like, I think those are kind of the three main teams. I'm right now kind of between the Tampa set, because I really think Toronto has fallen off just completely dead. I wonder about that. Those are kind of the beginning points, and then it's like, well, where do you get different? I think the first spot that we're getting to is where you get different, and it's really quite fair to get in there, and that's Keller, Schmaltz, and Gunther. I don't know if we got official word yet on Sergachev, but I think we're kind of expecting him to be out.
Yeah, now we're getting to games that should have had morning skates. So
I'm pretty sure Uyghur is also not going to play.
Sergachev taking line rushes, participating in drills. No official word, but expect him in. And no lines were posted. Just that they skated. So if someone wants to listen to 2 minutes of Andre Torini, that would be helpful. But otherwise, I think that's all we got for this morning skate. I would be shocked if they change it. Obviously, they just dominated Philly 1-3-0 in the absolute, just easiest time out on the ice there. With Sergachev back, even without Uyghur, that's still a pretty loaded top four defensively, and then Sergachev, Durzi just have the offensive fantasy chops to go with it. Peyton stayed on that top power play unit, so in spite of them switching up all their lines, McBain, Hayton, Yamamoto, it seems like Hayton is still in the good graces of Torini there, keeping the power play 1 gig, so that's at least some good news. And otherwise, what you see here is what we're likely to get on Saturday. So the obvious appeal is Keller, Schmaltz, Gunther. I was surprised to see them only at 18.6K. Now, when you look at their production over the last 10 games, you have 30 expected fantasy points and 34 actual. Again, I like to look at about 2x their salary as far as like my, benchmark for being a quote unquote good play. Obviously that changes as you go to the extremes, high and low, just given the way that outcomes work. But for this line, it actually is a bit more expensive than their production has been. Now, a lot of that production has become apart from one another, so it's just sort of a matter of how well you believe this line gels together. And the early returns are quite good. Additionally, their power play is seemingly ramping up. They're not quite in the Anaheim realm coming out of the break where it's like, oh, wow, their power play really has leveled up over these few games, but it has been better, after the break. So Gunther, for me, would be the elite one-off type play. I don't know if I can play Keller or Schmaltz. I would maybe pick one of them in Sergachev if I wanted to stack here. But that's the spot for me that I would go to. Any interest in Barrett Hayton? He's 3,600, offers up some salary relief if you wanted it.
I mean, I'm honestly almost a little bit more interested in just betting him for shots. Like his shot production has ticked upwards, but his role hasn't moved too much in the right direction. I mean, 3-0 win, they just kind of rolled 4 lines against the Flyers, so maybe that was a little bit of a one-off, but we've seen more from him with Yamamoto and McBain. Like he is the guy to shoot on that line. It's not anything I'm going to the mat for. Like probably just bet on Gunther, who also has come down in price a little bit for some reason. Like they're respecting the Buckets maybe a little bit more than I would. But it's an option. I don't mind kind of going to either of those two and seeing what you can't find. But I'll probably end up with Dylan Gunther, who is with 2 elite setup men, both of which can steal shot share is a concern, but at like -175 for 3, I'm fine with that, and maybe even boosting him up just because I do like this matchup. I think it's a little bit better than meets the eye. So any of these guys you similarly are interested in? Looking at Connor Garland as well, but we'll get to that in a second.
Yeah, Werenski's back, so Columbus should be sort of full fare. It really depends on what you make of Columbus as a hockey team. I think more so than anything else. But it's not like there's any overt reason to think that this game's an outlier from any standpoint. I think the Gunther stuff you're talking about is where my head goes to for shots, especially. If you want to run like a ladder, it looks like Fanatics has the best 3.5 number, 145. Obviously, check that. Things could be outdated on unabated. But then also on DK, they match the best, outlier type scenarios too. 5 is plus 310, 6 is plus 7 or plus 700, and then 7 shots is 16-1. Gunther clearly has that in his bag, so I do like those ladders. Otherwise, Barrett Hayton is okay, but I'm not like laddering him or anything personally. And let's see what the power play point looks like. Plus 420, 425. Yeah, no, I'm good there. So I like the Hayton call, but maybe like a
those are
flyer anytime.
Those are the two.
But all right, On the Columbus side, we did get new lines. I did not incorporate those. So Orensky in.
I mean, just putting
Are you
Garland.
looking at lines? Oh, sorry.
Just putting Garland for Heinen, and you're 99% of the way there. Top line same. Heinen goes for with Johnson and Monahan, and then, I mean, if you're really that interested in the bottom six, cool. The Coyle is still with whomever, and I don't remember who came out, but
if Voronkov comes out, but
really,
is it Boone Jenner?
It is Lundestrom, Jenner, Wood.
Yeah. Okay. So
Sillinger, Coyle, Olivier, Sticks. Power play 2 was Provorov, Severson, Johnson, Garland, Monahan. So full line plus the 2 defensemen. This is correct now.
Yeah.
I just respect Utah too much to really want to go to this in DFS. It's priced up. Like Fantilli and Marchenko kept climbing because they were smashing. Now they have Utah to go against. Like, no thank you on that end. But I would consider if, again, similar vein of, hey, I really like, Gunther for shots. Like, I still really like Werenski. In the 2 games he played after the Olympic break, he had a average of 13.5 shot attempts per game. So, it's a casual 27 shot attempts in 2 games is pretty insane.
Let's think about this for a minute. Thinking about the Utah lineup. Obviously, as a team, they've done quite well. I'm very curious to see how Peterka and Cooley have done together, because that to me feels like the line that would be go that you can sort of keep up with, or that you sort of play fire wagon hockey more so than obviously Gunther, Schmaltz, Keller. I think will just be better than the third line of Columbus, and in any case they're sort of trying to play defensively. That should leave Marchment, Marchenko, Fantilli to be playing against Cooley and Peterka. So I want to see what their results look like this year. And this is via hockeyviz.com. You should definitely subscribe to it because they have awesome tools to help you sort of answer these questions like I'm showing live on air here.
Yep, I send Mike a few ducats every month, and you should too.
Yeah. So here's their defensive numbers in 204 minutes. They are outscoring the opposition 15-8, but that's based on 9-9 expected goal stuff. So obviously Cooley and Peterka are great finishers, so the shooting percentage bump maybe not too outlandish. But defensively, they're certainly nothing to fear, and that's sort of what I was trying to ensure, because when we have Marchment, Fantilli, Marchenko checking in at what's probably lower ownership than Utah won, and you have Zach Werenski, who might be one of the best plays on the slate. There's no McDavid, there's no McKinnon. Kucherov is in a great matchup, but he's been a bit cooler, I guess, coming out of the break. Yeah, I could see Columbus 1 plus Werenski being highly interesting, just strictly because I think they match up with like the one line with Utah that will play, up-tempo hockey. So not on top of my list, but at least interesting, more interesting to me than, Coyle and cheaper stuff, and certainly more interesting than the second line here, Johnson, Monahan, Garland, which, I just don't think Utah in general is a team I want to target with secondary players. So anything else?
Nope. We can move over.
Right.
What game is next?
Montreal heading into LA.
I was going to say Joel Armia Bowl, but he's not going to play. So yeah, we have Slavkovsky, Suzuki, Caulfield all together. That smashed yesterday. It almost took me to the top of the leaderboards in daily fantasy. They get a tougher matchup on a back-to-back. Anaheim is a fun team to play against and a fun team to watch. LA is, LA. This line combined for 3 goals at 5-on-5, and on the power play, they scored another one. So pretty good stuff with no Slavkovsky on the second line. It's kind of like, what is the second line? They're, Evans, Doc, and Bolduc played a decent role. Deneau, revenge narrative. Gallagher, Josh Anderson, and then Demidov, Newhook, Kapanen. It's sort of like one line, and then I don't really know. The defense is super involved for Montreal. It's expensive to play kind of almost any of them, but at some point you just got to look at Dobson and Lane Hudson and say, like, I don't really care. Like, these guys are so fucking good and so involved that it's totally fine. You've gone to the Dobson well in the betting space. It's been good and bad, I'd say, but last time you were burned. Are you willing to go back to that, or is there anything else here that you're instantly interested in?
Let's take a look. Because, I mean, we are on opposite sides of the LA train. I think that LA is fixed. They're good to go. Brant Clark is everything.
They're not bad. I'm not saying they're bad. I'm just saying. Life. I'm saying I literally all I said about them was they're a better defensively than Anaheim. I didn't even say anything mean.
Here's the reason you go to Noah Dobson. It's because he's plus 155 for a point.
That's
he's not on the top power play, but he's intimately involved in their 5-on-5 offense.
It's on top.
His shot prop, some
what about
odd looking numbers. I don't know what this bookmaker is, but if looks like you can shop it around and get some crazy numbers from Novig and things like that. FanDuel has the best real sportsbook offering, unless Bet Online is it. I don't know what these random things are. In any case, this all seems fine. FanDuel DK 475 for 4 shots. I don't know. It's all fine on Noah Dobson. The main appeal, though, would be the top line. Slavkovsky moving up there. Didn't shoot a ton last game, but I would expect him to sort of take more shots than, that last game against Anaheim, because he's been every bit a shooter. This year, Cole Caulfield, of course, is elite, and that line is 19.1K. I do think, though, that line goes up against Panarin, Kempe, Kopitar, which isn't great. They're on a back-to-back, relatively low, I think, on Montreal. Again, for the reason being that I just think LA is like one of the better teams in the West, and that only means they're better than 8 teams, but I think they are a playoff team here, and for that reason, I want to go down with the LA ship again.
There's always a part of me that when I see plus money on Lane Hudson for 2 shots, that says you gotta bet that. And then I remember he doesn't shoot. Are you thinking this could be a situation where, 4-1 for Lane Hudson to have 3 shots on goal is something you'd consider, or plus 130, 135 for him to have 2 is something you consider, or just please stop, get help, call the number?
It's not terrible, but doesn't overly excite me. It's not like he's an average shooter as a defenseman. He gets power play minutes. Just he's a defenseman who takes long range shots and doesn't have a good shot. So it's not like he's likely to get 75% of his shots on goal or anything like that. So you need 4 attempts and you need to run good.
If he was Logan Stanley, he'd get those on net. I do agree.
Of course.
I think that covers Montreal. Like I said, I think the Dobson point. I mean, you want a guy that is a good shooter and is shooting a lot is Noah Dobson and is out there with Lane Hudson and getting points at 5-on-5 and on the second unit. That is Dobson. He is also one of the first guys over the boards to take a change from almost anybody on that power play. So I like that a lot. We can move over to LA. I am actually probably more interested in this side from a betting perspective, and I guess probably DFS as well. It does suck that these top 2 lines are facing off against each other, but there is some depth to go after, I'd say. Oh, yeah, show the play. Have fun.
No, here's Brant Clark defending a rush in a 4-2 lead. Oh, wait, no, he's outside of the zone, cherry picking, up 4-2, leading to one of the nicest goals that you'll ever see. Just preposterously good stuff from
the GOAT.
Just it's. There he goes. Guy loses his edge. He says, "Yep, I'm gone." Oh, beautiful. It is.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah. Real coaches were not playing this guy more than 12 minutes.
This is
real coaches that were hired for millions of dollars. We're like, this guy can't play more than 12 minutes. And everyone needs to know that. And if your team hires I'm not even going to say his name because he's finally dead. But if they hire that guy that was coaching this team that was not playing that Brant Clark, run for the hills.
Yeah.
Go
So
on.
we are once again betting the board on Brant Clark. I don't think any of this reflects his actual odds. Just given the player prototype that he is, it looks like your best bets will be not on DK. It looks like Fanatics has the best point prop. Check FanDuel though, because it doesn't look like they're even offered up here, so there could be something wrong, or they're just not offering Brant Clark point for some reason. But yeah, shots on goal. He hasn't been shooting a ton, but I think given his history, he will be very involved in shooting the puck. So looks like that's best on FanDuel. But again, not MGM actually has a pretty good number. So that's what I'm doing here.
Well, that makes you brave, and it actually has no points listed at all of this game right now on FanDuel. Like it came down, but they have mostly for an assist at plus 138. So,
well,
it'll come back.
Yeah, because he's like 120 for a point at was it Fanatics? I think it was. So just do that. Not sure what their lineup's going to look like with all their missing dudes. I don't know if we have anything there, but realistically speaking, like it's largely through the power play for me because Panarin's like actively good.
Yeah, I mean, Byfield they said was an option. I don't know if anything had changed on that. So I don't know. Let me look. I kind of doubt afternoon game there, like we said. So be a little bit surprised if they had real good news right now, but let's look at our friends at the Mayor have to say.
And we were testing this. It does look like Brant Clark and Panarin played a bunch together. Doughty played slightly more, but late in the game especially, they were intentionally giving shifts, and I've noted some individual occasions where in two instances they took too many men on the ice penalties trying to get Clark out with Doughty.
We have an important breaking news from this article.
Oh God.
Smith on the power play with Perry now in Tampa. We'll put Laferriere there as a righty, and then we'll wait and see what happens with Byfield. Eventually gets back. So that would make me believe that Byfield's not ready and that it should be Laferriere.
6-1 for power play point.
6-1. So any better?
Sure.
No. I mean, he has been like 6.8 shot attempts per game. He's going to be net front-ish. That's I don't want to say wheels up, but that is a bet that you could place and feel pretty good about at 6-1. So let's grab that right now.
Good stuff there. He's been, you mentioned he's been shooting a ton. He's basically their everything next forward up. Both Perry and Fogle were moved, so I don't know. The bottom of their lineup will be different, but it's obviously the main guys for me that I want to be in on. Brant Clark expensive, but I truly believe that he belongs among the top 5 fantasy defensemen, and he's shown it in large intervals and just not gotten the ice time to account for it. And I think now he's getting that. He's getting the role. So that's what I'm doing. But you can create a player with the bottom 6 on your own time. Let's do up next Tampa heading into Toronto. DJ, how dead are the Toronto Maple Leafs?
It's like I can't think of anything more other than the coach of the LA Kings. I'll say his name. The most dead team in the league. They're playing even deader than dead. They are loading up a top line more or less as well. Which, well, I don't even know. The thing is like the team doesn't really look that bad on paper. Like you look at the lineup and you're like, well, this team's fine, but they just lose every night and they get no goaltending or any sort of effort on defense. So yeah, it's bad. Again, another situation where like True Living is like, hey, like I did a bad job. This team's bad. I did this. My bad. And it's like, yep, I have an idea. Let's let this guy run another trade deadline and just get absolutely taken to school by everybody else. Trading for Scott Lawton for a first round pick and giving him up for almost nothing a year later. Just a joke. I really like Tampa a lot in this spot. I feel like my chalk donkey syndrome, it makes me concerned that this is not going to get overlooked at all, but it is really expensive. And there's, like I mentioned, there's a lot of good spots on the slate. We've really only talked about ones that are not that chalky. This is the first one that could be, but I'd say it's the third most chalky spot. But does it get some sort of an uptick? Are people just going to look past the top line and just say it doesn't matter because Kucherov is Kucherov and just play like, Gensel, Hagel, Point, any of these other guys, probably mainly Braden Point, who just feels a little bit cheap with the way he's playing right now. Yeah, everything about this spot feels good. I don't know if you think of anything else, but do you think that I'm trying to convince myself this won't be as chalky as it likely will be?
I don't know about ownership. Is Radish with the team? It looks like we just got confirmation that his father passed away, which that was a bit of a running. Okay, yeah, Darren Radish is with the team, so I think he's even from the Toronto area, so that's maybe he was able to be there or whatever. But there was a nice story in the Athletic about him and Taylor Radish playing this season through his father's illness. Yeah. So
in other news, you got the fourth line together, so it sounds like Radish. Sad to see, but looks like he's with the team.
Okay,
so
cool. So
these are the notes, yeah, it's more or less.
No power play confirmation, but I don't think Perry goes to power play 1. Maybe he does. I don't know. Gensel feels like a better net front option, and I don't think you're moving Point to the Stamkos spot and Gensel to the bumper, given handedness reasons. So I think Perry's just there to sort of be some depth and, a power play guy with Kucherov on the second unit. Hagel, Sorelli, obviously Kucherov should play up with all of Gensel, Point, Hagel, Sorelli. TBD what the official lineup looks like, but you can safely stack that up if you really want to. Sorelli's fallen off, though. His fantasy production was looking pretty solid for a couple weeks there. With Point back, I think that role just sort of evaporated, and Hagel is also cooled off considerably. So you're really looking at Kucherov, Gensel, Point. That's not a surprise, but just confirming that. Darren Radish has been among the best fantasy defensemen in the league. Obvious narrative now with him. That was well known that it was coming, so all the best to him and whatnot. But truly, if he's with the team, there's certainly going to be some inspiration there. And who better than Nikita Kucherov to assist a guy to score a goal? So that's all fun and good.
Braden Point's 3-1 for a power play point seems like a little odd. I don't know. I just stood out comparatively to the others on that top power play. I just wondered what other books had. Yeah, other 310. I don't know. I mean, I guess I kind of maybe get it, but it just seemed way longer than the other guys. I mean, other than, of course, Bjorkstrand, who has like power play pointer, doesn't exist. But I don't know. Just something that sort of made me think.
He's played 42 games, and he has 10 power play points. So if you're basing it on this year, I guess that's 3-1. 25% of the time.
As involved as like Kucherov or Radish for sure. Maybe it is just Radish is kind of taking his lunch money as far as like the guy they want on that top power play to such an extreme that he's kind of phased out. Like, I think it makes sense. Gensel's look great. Like, I think if you're making a decision between like who am I playing with Kucherov, like I'm just going Gensel over Point, but that's sort of one of the building blocks that I'm trying to start with.
All right. Yeah, that's all. I'm fine with everything you just said there. I think the final thing to look at would just be a few of the props to make sure we're not missing something.
I didn't see anything crazy on the Tampa side. Like I was like, oh, Gensel's going to be a good bet, and it's like, nah, not really. Like Kucherov is minus money for 2 points. Tough break there for. I mean, that's.
Gosh. Remember when Victor Hedman was alive? That went away quickly.
I mean, what is his price on DraftKings right now? Actually,
it is minus one. Oh, his DK price.
DK price
3,600.
3,600. Yeah, I know. I saw that. I mean, he's playing 15 minutes. It's just, I mean, he's getting the prior Brant Clark role. Only he's nowhere near as good as Brant Clark anymore, which is really, really tough. I don't know what. There's just nothing else to say. Like he
He's
is a
taking the
third-pairing
mantle.
defenseman. He's
You
taking
heard it here
over
first. DJ is pounding the drum for Victor Hedman to play more. Got to fire that John Cooper guy. He's a giant.
I'll tell you,
I hear.
Please play him more because the Sabres are really trying to catch you guys reversed in the Atlantic. So keep doing it. I got an idea for you.
All right.
Tough break. This
Toronto.
Well,
I'm moving on. You can keep talking. Yeah,
Michelli went up to the top line. Yep. And he's been like,
Tavares,
I mean, he's not even been good. He's just scoring for whatever reason.
Yeah, 8.1 expected fantasy points per game last 10, 8.8 actual. If you're talking sustainable production, that's decent. Yeah. Joshua, Robertson.
I'm sorry. I was going to say, I think the one note on Tampa that we're kind of alluding to is they're really not that good defensively. But Toronto's going to have to try to create some matchups against that bottom six if they can, because the top six will definitely cook their ass. But Michelli is plus money for a point up there with Matthews and Nylander. I feel like we would have been drooling over this kind of a bet, but it is a little bit riskier than you'd like. I mean, you would, again, like you'd think, like, how could you not be clicking a guy that's playing well plus 120 with those two? And here I am thinking that's kind of tough to click on.
Yeah, Oliver Ekman-Larsson back in the lineup. I don't know. Like, it's obviously beyond possible for Toronto to make the playoffs, but like, are they truly one of the league's worst teams? I also just don't think that's really remotely possible. Now,
Service says maybe.
I mean, the Sabres on a back-to-back in Tampa were like minus or plus like 200 in that game, right? Like, obviously they came up and pummeled them, but it's not like minus 200 for Tampa's that crazy. No. Considering back-to-back road game, it's a little bit different for the Leafs here at home. But
what is plus it? It's 6.5, right?
Yeah. Plus 170 feels.
Yeah, their implied team total is not terrible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can I really?
I don't know what to tell anybody here other than.
What's the?
I mean, I want Toronto to win.
Leafs. Polymarket.
Here's another idea. Michelli assist plus Nylander goal plus 525. That's not what I wanted to see at all.
Well, what is
plus
Nylander?
385 for Matthew. Plus 195.
And then Michelli.
It's not terrible. Plus 230 for an assist.
So that should be 874.
Yeah.
It's not crazy penalized, but the power play one, I think, is the main issue there.
It's gonna hurt. Yeah.
All right.
So I mean, I don't mind Michelli for a point. I don't honestly mind even if you wanted to do it. Oh no, I don't know. That's really all I care about here, I think, from the Toronto side. I don't think there's anything else I'm finding.
Agree. Top liner.
Yeah. Anything else?
Top liner bust. That top line is 20.4K. Going to be unowned.
Good God.
If you do it, go all the way. Play Michelli and Nylander with Matthews and just pray. But I do think there is some reason to believe Toronto has some capability here to like win a GPP.
Nobody has believed in them lately more than me, because I play their goalie almost every slate at 0% owned and watch them get absolutely fucking pummeled. And I mean, I'll say this: the past last game, I guess, when I played Stolarz, he did hit 25.3, and they still lost to New Jersey, but like they're I don't know. This game is interesting on paper.
You can see that. Like, you can literally see that in their numbers here too. Like, I keep this little expected shooting percentage column specifically for situations like that, because like, they might lose, but they're going to give up a lot of attempts if they do lose. And you see here that Tampa, their expected shooting percentage of 4.3%. It just means that combined with Toronto's defense, like, they're projected to get a lot of lower quality chances compared to like Calgary, where because Carolina plays the way they do, like, any attempt Calgary gets is going to be, high alert. So It's a little thing I use for goalies. It's not everything, but like
Yeah.
that does indicate that Toronto goalies are not the worst idea either. And
No,
that's
and
largely
yeah,
because of the way they've played.
I am literally the guy from The Simpsons with the rakes, and I just keep stepping on them and being like, ugh, like, why? I keep doing this to myself, but I can't help it. But hey, okay, we can move on to another team that you want to play someone that no one's going to play. Actually, you know what? I won't even say no one's going to play this because it's so unbelievably cheap against a Winnipeg team that is not fantastic that like maybe somebody considers Vancouver. Nobody on Vancouver stands out in a way that I'm like, oh, this is obviously the guy. Now let's think over the last 5 games. Can you name their top rate shooters? You know what? Don't even try. It's Evander Kane who doesn't even play every night, and Drew O'Connor, both having 4 attempts per game on average. What?
Evander's been sick. It's not like he's been scratched.
Yeah. No, I know. I'm just saying. Yeah, I guess that's a good point. But yeah, the rest of this team is just nobody is doing anything. Like Elias Pettersson, my friend, can you just try to shoot the puck at the goalie, just like for fun, just to make it look like you are doing anything ever? I don't understand. Nope. This team is pretty bad.
Nope. He's gonna get an assist and chew bubble gum, and he's all out of bubble gum.
That's exactly right. So I can't justifiably click the buttons here. Can you?
No. Let's see. What is this third line now? It's O'Connor, Kane, Ratu. Okay. Ratu. How did I forget how to spell his name? And Ratu. What the? Oh God, no, that's so annoying.
Like an R in it or something. No, obviously. It's AATU. AATU. I thought it was like R2 Ratu for some reason.
I've never seen that name before in my life somehow, yet I've probably typed in his name at least 24 times. I don't know why that's so foreign to me right now. In any case, their lineup is cheap at the top, so you don't need to go to the bottom. You don't need to go to the top either, but it is what it is. The number one combo here would be Rossi plus Besser. They're 8,000 in total. It's not great, but for 8K, you're getting 16 DK points per game over the last 10. They've been tightly correlated at 5-on-5 and the top power play, and they're playing with Liam Ogren. I like Ogren, but you don't need to go for a 11K line with Ogren when you can get an 8K pair that gets power play time, and it's just better. So wait and see on Ogren, I guess, more specifically, but if you want to replace Ogren, just play Pettersson. Like Pettersson, Rossi, Besser is genuinely, I think, a good stack. All right, but that's the less said about Vancouver.
Anything on their defense. I just feel like if you're looking for punts, you're kind of a smorgasbord of them. I mean, Hronik is 4K, and then everyone's sub 3. Like, do any of these defensemen stand out as like that's the guy I'm clicking on here?
I mean, just look at their production. There's nothing. There is absolutely nothing here. These are the right guys, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
So
none of them are shooting. I think they're who was blocking shots that I noticed?
It's probably Pettersson, but the stats for him are broken because
shots with this guy. Yeah, I think you're right. Stats for him are broken. That's why it showed up. Okay. Yeah, it is Elias Nils Pettersson. That was the guy I noticed that had some blocks bonuses.
Yeah. Like, sure, if you want to just take a guy solely for blocks, go ahead. But
I'm just trying to say something. But Winnipeg,
Morrissey is back. Let's see. We have a lineup for them, so let's just quickly update this. Your thoughts on Winnipeg here?
Well, Logan Stanley is out. Morrissey is back. One guy that I've been like every time I watch Winnipeg, which I guess maybe isn't as often as probably Winnipeg fans, but I really noticed the Elias Salamonson at minimum salary. So all of that to say about the Winnipeg guys, I would just rather play Salamonson no matter what. I don't think he's going to be incredibly high owned. He's just out there a lot. I think that his role will largely remain like Stanley's just going to be swapped out for Morrissey. It's not like Morrissey could play too many more minutes than Stanley was, especially coming back from an injury. I believe Salamonson was power play too. You can double check my work there, but I did retweet that.
Fleury is.
Are you kidding me? What a dumbass team. Regardless, I still like Salamonson at minimum salary as an option. I am gonna go back to the Cole Perfetti. Well,
whatever. You're
what?
a fucking dumbass. Salamonson is
What?
not a power play guy whatsoever. Just get out of here.
Well, he's shooting and he's blocking pucks and he's playing a lot of minutes. So I just assume, and he just looks good. Like, watch him play. Try it. Have you ever watched the game, Nerd Boy?
Never.
Probably not. You should try it sometime. It's fun.
7:00 hits, my lineup goes in. I just sit here and stare at my Excel sheet until 1 a.m. and then I figure out if I won or lost. You should try that sometime.
That sounds like a much better idea than what I'm doing. Correct. But yeah, so we talked about this, the last slate where it was like, if you play Perfetti Velarde, like, man, it's not cheap as you'd like it to be, but like everybody's going to go the Connor Scheifele route. I wouldn't hate the idea of going to that here, just with the way Perfetti is playing. Any thoughts on between the two? Like, would you would you include, like, I think you include Iafallo probably at like almost nothing, just because the role seems to be there and he's shooting a little bit. But any thoughts in between the top two lines?
Probably line 2. Not high on my list, though, believe it or not.
Yeah, Brazilian not even on the slate.
No, he's not.
Tough. He's offered for a power play point.
All right, DJ out here betting Jonathan Toews like it's January all over again.
He's also offered for shots on DraftKings plus money for 2. I mean, I don't know what his role is going to be, but did he have any AHL shot stats?
He had a ton. Yeah, he shot a ton in the AHL.
Right. Yeah, I was going to say, I feel like that's a guy that was shooting a lot.
All right. Yeah, let's take a look at that. Can we find a ladder?
Yeah, 3 best is Fanatics plus 375, and 4 is 11-1 on DraftKings. I mean,
I like that. But let's
I like that, and I hate that I like that.
Yeah, he's probably only going to get 14 minutes, but if he's truly a guy who comes out with the shot attempt rate of like 10 shots per 60, I mean, that's not elite stuff, but it seems reasonable. And already you're talking, 3 on average. So there's certainly room for success when 2 is plus money. So if he's, actually an 8 shots per 60 guy and, a 14 iCourse per 60 guy instead of a 20 iCourse per 60 guy, like his AHL numbers are sort of leaning toward, there is some upside there. I like being first to that versus points or whatever. Just bet on the volume for him because he is a rate shooter.
Okay, perfect. We're on the same page. I like that bet a lot. And I would have not minded him at minimum salary in DFS, but I will not be able to do that. Winnipeg, again, either top 2 lines, one of the best bets in DFS on the slate. We move over to the Carolina Hurricanes at the Calgary Flames. Gostisbehere, as you're now notating, I think it sounds like he's out. Not sure yet, but he didn't come back in the third period, and it doesn't seem like he's gonna be able to go here. But we'll keep an eye on it. That opens up a pretty massive role for a cheaper defenseman. I would hope it's Nikishin that gets that bump. We could go back to playing Alexander Nikishin again. Always fun. The top line has been rolling. I mean, it's expensive as all get out, but it's against the Flames. I do think it'll be somewhat popular just because one of these defensemen, as we're mentioning, a 3,200 defenseman in Nikishin getting a decent role will make it more affordable. So are you thinking this Carolina Hurricanes team could be piled on? Do you think they're going to be popular? And do you have any bets that you like here?
Yeah, I mean, they're on a back-to-back, so that immediately is a concern. The additional concern is that if they move the power play 1 to Nikishin, there's not actually a real reason to think Nikishin gets a bunch more minutes because now that they have this solidified top 4, it's just going to mean that Joel Nystrom and Nikishin play like 5-on-5 shifts total. Like,
are you brave enough to bet 8-1 Nikishin power play point?
Okay, so that would be a very brave thing to do, and I think would be the proper reaction. So only betting through the power play here is smart. Everything else is very questionable. I don't think I can make room for Nikishin in DFS, in all honesty. Yes, I love the fact that Sorry, what?
Ferrier was the other power play point guy.
Yeah.
Because we're about to cook something up that's just despicable.
Diabolical. All right. So let's take a quick look at that. We're not going to know about Gossespierre for sure until super late, but I think it's, he only played 4 minutes last game left, did not return like you said. So Nikishin is by far the spot I want to target here as a result of that. And then with the rest of the lineup, you're just throwing darts. Like, you can't play the top line. I don't know how many times I need to write about it, talk about it, but like they're way too expensive. They don't have any sort of upside. It's been months since Seth Jarvis got more than 26 DK points. He's almost 8K. I don't know why.
Yeah.
It makes absolutely no sense.
He just gets points. Like that's something he does.
Yeah, you're never going to win a DFS slate getting his normal score. Like his high end score. You're never winning a DFS slate with that. You could win in spite of it, but like, I prefer to play actual good players that are like getting fantasy points.
Are we allowed to do that still?
Believe it or not, now that it's March, I'm allowed to do that. Yes.
Oh yeah, Mood's March. I forgot because before you weren't. Okay, yeah.
Right.
Ehlers is probably, if you're looking for a shot guy, the guy I would just go to, even though he's, the role is weird. It just feels like anybody on the wing with Martin Nuke Stahl is just instantly catapulted into higher rate stats. He's plus like 120 for 3. I probably am not making it like one of my favorite bets, but he's done that in like 7 straight. So I don't know. At some point against the Flames, you got to think like maybe that's fine. Are you one of those people that would say that's maybe fine, or are you just saying like let's shut up and move on?
It's fine. Let's shut up and move on. Sean Walker
Perfect.
might be the DFS guy that I play because he's got 19 blocks in his last 10 games. He's among the higher end defensive rate shooters. And this Calgary team is once again a team that I love getting rates against. And so even though Sean Walker's not likely to be on a power play, he could be second unit, not positive between Miller, Slavin, Walker, whatever. But he's going to play a bunch, especially if Nikishin's role is diminished, and he's 3,400. So that would be the guy that stands out. Let's get into Calgary. They traded away Nazem Kadri, so that's a huge issue as far as figuring out where the time on ice goes. Do we have a morning skate from Calgary?
Not to my recollection. What do I really know about the Calgary Flames and what they're going to do?
Ryan Strome, Oli Mata will play. Victor Olofsson is not expected to play, but no lines.
Not that I'm seeing.
Okay. So my best guess is Morgan Frost moves up the lineup, but we don't know. Surprisingly, Backlund Coleman still hanging around. So that's that. And then let's say Ryan Strome comes in on the third line. Power play 1, yeah, probably Frost, Farabee, Coronado, Parake, Greedon. That's all fine. And they're going against the Carolina Hurricanes. So ultimately, there's not a ton. Oh, wait. Greedon got sent to the... Oh, you know what? I bet Greedon got paper transactioned. Yeah. So I don't think there's anything here that we need to race to be first to, given the matchup and given the team. I do think that Parake is an interesting guy to keep an eye on going forward, but he just... this matchup is just so tough that I don't know that there's a number that's high enough for me to be like, yep, I'm so afraid of missing this.
There's one obvious bet here that you're totally forgetting about.
What's that?
I mean, I would frankly call you a coward if you don't bet it. Jan Kuznetsov plus 195 for 3 blocks.
Meh. I get it. He's been blocking a bunch and playing a bunch, but...
And he'll play more. No Uyghur. He's playing more.
Sure.
White Cloud blocks more pucks than him, but that's 170 versus 195. Who is killing penalties? That's a great question. Good ask. It is White Cloud, Bahal, and Kuznetsov. But Ball actually is plus 235 for 3, and that's a big boy.
I just
For the
don't
larger
think
man.
I don't see it.
What part of it don't you see?
Betting
The part
money
where
on Calgary Flames to block the puck.
well, why not?
You really want me to sit here and talk to you about percentages, and I don't see myself betting on
And if Ole Mata's a
Jan
no,
Kuznetsov.
that actually Ole Mata might take penalty kill time. You know what? On second thought,
Okay,
what's Zane Parekh doing these days?
nothing.
Cool. They have Ball for a point, but not Parekh.
Yeah, whatever.
What
Like,
about
there's just no
Olofsson?
reason. There's just no reason. It's Carolina. Olofsson's not playing.
He's offered.
Okay, but he's not playing.
You know that
They
the
literally. I
Flames
read a tweet
and
that said he's in transit and unlikely to play.
the Flames and Toronto have the same plus 170 to win. I just want you to know that.
Okay. Okay. Hamley's out, so that's where Ole Mata slides in.
Okay, great. We've come to a conclusion. Right. Now, let's just get Ottawa, Seattle. 2 more games. Let's get out of here. Who do you like here on the Ottawa Senators? I mean, this game kind of sucks, so I don't know. I'm probably not playing it, but what do you think?
Well, I mean, that's only if you think Seattle's any good. And
Spoiler.
I think we're on opposite sides of the coin there.
Well, I bet them to make the playoffs. I don't know if that makes them good, or I just think that every other team in the West sucks.
Right. But they're playing some really shitty hockey right now, getting goalied, to bail them out. Ottawa, of course, loves getting goalied on a nightly basis. But Drake Batherson, resurgence from him. Dylan Cousins has looked the part. Stützle's been very good. Actually, Stützle was awesome in Calgary. He should have had like 87 DK points, but didn't happen. He got bailed out with the empty netter at the end to get a usable score. But I think he hit 3 posts. Like, just preposterous playmaking and stuff from him and Batherson, and the power play was clicking. I think Ottawa's highly interesting because Batherson and Cousins are so reasonably priced. Batherson we've talked about on the Made Pod, but he is a guy who used the break to get healthy and came out of the break firing, productive, everything you want to see from Drake Batherson, sort of the preseason Drake Batherson we thought. I think this is what we're getting now. And if preseason you told me that Ottawa's on the road against a Seattle team that's reeling defensively, and he's line 1 power play on a Stützle, 5,100, he's an auto lock. Obviously, some things have transpired that makes him not an auto lock here, but I do think there's a great argument to be made that this is one of the primary, key stacks of the night. So I like Ottawa a bunch. Do you have anything more to add to that?
No, I mean it's definitely Ottawa over Seattle. I mean that's not an argument. I'm certainly not clicking on Seattle. I'm just trying to debate how much I want to click on Ottawa from a betting perspective, and the answer is probably Batherson again and being sad. They won 4-1 last time out. They gave us a bit of a scare there, but the top line and Stützle played 23 minutes. I mean, he is out there all of the fucking time with Batherson and Giroux, and that's just the best line. Kachuk is put him in there, plug him in. I mean, Cousins scored on the power play, but just isn't that good. Ridley Gregg is just not a guy I care about. And then the Pinto line is the shutdown role. So you're going to get a soft matchup for the Batherson Stützle line. I agree. It's a good one in DFS. Does anything stand out from a betting perspective as far as where you would click on for a point or shots, or are you thinking the Stützle shot production could be on an uptick?
My head would go to Batherson and Stützle, so let's just take a look at both of those guys real quick because I don't really want to be on Cousins.
145 for a Batherson point is the best I see. Brady minus 180. Stützle is basically betting for 2 or nothing. Batherson shots, it's honestly probably where I land, but plus 145, believe is the best I'm finding other than whatever bookmaker is.
Yeah, I don't know what that is either. Let's yeah, Stutzla for 4 shots plus 300 is interesting. I'm thinking of that 20% boost that I have, but I don't think that'll be my my bet there. So yeah, I like Batherson, and I think Batherson goal would be the goal scorer parlay at the end. We'll get there.
Ooh, yep.
That'll be
Or,
the
I mean, we do them every time, so
that'll be the guy. So all right, one more game then, or sorry, Seattle.
oh yeah,
We added Bobby
Seattle's
McMahon.
playing. Yeah.
Do we have a lineup for them?
Yeah. No, is Bobby McMahon be coming from Canada?
McCann, Beniers, Eberle, Schwartz, Stevenson, Tolvanen. Did I lose you?
My mic cut out for a second.
Okay.
I said Bobby McMahon's coming from Canada, so I don't know if he's going to be in. Is he?
Yeah.
Is he in?
No, we have a lineup from them. Cat and Wright, Kako.
That's a fun line. That's never going to play.
Yeah, we've done this many a time.
Cartier, he's definitely not going to play.
Yeah, Melanson, Myers, and Ryan Winterton. All right. Wait. No. Or no, Kale Fleury's placeholder, I would hope. Is Adam Larson hurt?
Dude, I got to tell you, it just doesn't fucking matter.
Okay, there's an illness going through the room. Lindgren, Larson, Freddie Gaudreau, all game time decisions. Great. Okay. Everything here does not interest me. Anything you want to say?
Right. No, very uninterested. Maybe the most uninterested I've been in the team since we started talking. So
the
not going to be
Islanders
touching it.
Head into San Jose. They just made a bit of a shocking trade, and we have a new lineup from them. Heineman, Horvat, Barzell. Right away. Ouchie mama. That's some good stuff there. Heineman's been cooled as of late, but that's largely not playing with Horvat. So think back to earlier this season when Heineman was the belle of the ball. Line 2, we have Cal Ritchie, Braden Shen, Andre Palat. Let's just plug those guys in. And then Lee Pageau, Holmstrom remains the same. Fourth line, who cares? So, DJ, thoughts on the Islanders here against a back-to-back San Jose squad?
I like the Islanders a lot. I mean, I think that this is kind of where my head was going before. Now that I'm, I'm also interested in Ottawa a little bit more now. I think I was sort of like turning them off, and now I'm like, actually, that might be a really good play. But Horvat, Barzal, Heineman is very much of interest to me. I like that line quite a bit. And obviously Matthew Schaefer would fit right in. He's just been on another planet. Like 6,100, just it might feel expensive, but it just isn't expensive for these guys. So I'm in on it. I think this is just one of the better stacks of the night. I don't think it's going to be overlooked, but there's a small handful of really, really good stacks. And Horvat, Barzal, and Schaefer is getting up into the Carolina 1 price range, where I just think people will default to Carolina 1 a bit more. So yeah, I'm pretty high on it. I don't know if there's one individual bet that I'm going, crazy to the moon and back on. But I'm definitely going to be looking probably to Matthew Schaefer for something.
Schaefer's been good. Horvat, Barzal, also good. Braden Shen was on the top power play in morning skate with Cal Ritchie. Shen, before the trade, was playing quite fine for St. Louis. 7 expected fantasy points, 8.5 actual. He's 3,800. I still think I would play Heineman with Horvat Barzal over Shen, 5-on-5 correlation versus power play correlation. But I think that's an interesting, wrinkle, especially if the Islanders are going to be chalk. I don't have a great sense of ownership. Obviously, we'll need to watch the Stochastic show that's probably just wrapping up as well right now to really get a big sense for that. But that could be an interesting wrinkle. Or Heineman just could be the play because everyone's going, oh, well, Braden Shen projects for blah, blah, blah. I just don't know. Heineman, though, does stand out to me as quite interesting given the 5-on-5 deployment. I think that should help his time on ice as well. So that's actually the first guy I want to take a look at betting wise. Is there anything on your radar?
I think I already said it.
Okay, Schaefer.
Schaefer.
Cool.
Yeah.
I was wondering if you looked up anything specific.
Minus 120 for a point is, I don't think, getting touched. I don't hate the Heineman angle you're looking into either on the top line. He's also offered for a point on DraftKings. I think only DraftKings. You know, plus like I thought it was better than that. What is it?
Shen is 250 on FanDuel, 340 on DK. It is rare that we see such big discrepancies. Not every book has a Shen line, but 340 on DK does actually feel quite solid, given it seems like he'll be in that Holmstrom spot where like he's actually getting, the one-timer off the flank.
And you say he's power play 1?
Yeah. He's in place of where
Holmstrom power play point.
Oh,
yeah,
cool.
6-1. So if you want to do the round robin of Shen, Leferrier, and Nikishin, wheels up.
Yeah. All right. And then Schaefer, the final guy. Looks like DK shots minus 105 is the best. 100 on MGM.
He is shooting at another level. Yeah.
100 on MGM is definitely the best you're going to do. And if I have any boosts there, that's probably what I'll use because it's 110, 115 throughout the industry. Fanatics, too. Look at that. Plus 100. Great. Power play point. That's all fine. I don't necessarily love it or hate it, though. Anything for the Sharks now next? Their lineup subject to change. Yep, coming off a loss. So just keep that in mind.
Yeah, back-to-back against the Islanders. I find them to be the worst team in this matchup. It's, Macklin Celebrini or nothing. If you're playing Colin Graff as a one-off, like I almost considered doing, that's the wrong decision. It's, don't dip your toes in the water with a 2,900 Colin Graff, even if it's like, okay. Maybe the ownership won't be as high as it was on Friday, but I'm just not doing it. I don't really have a ton of interest in anything here because I'm just not spending the money on Macklin Celebrini. So like, what are you really doing? I don't think it's a terrible matchup, but this team just doesn't really have it right now. I'm expecting probably a change, but it just doesn't feel like anything is working. The top power play did have Orlov, as you're showing. That is as sticky as butter. Like I just don't think you need to do this. There's just no need. Like people will still play Macklin whether you do it or not. So I'm just not going to be one of those people.
Yeah. Will Smith got benched for a stretch of this game. Still played 17 minutes, but just some usual nonsense from San Jose. This third line is where I would go. It is 11.8K. Eklund, Misa, Toffoli. Toffoli on the power play 1. Misa played 15 minutes. That is, I think, his season high. 15, 18. He's played one game more than that on the year. And that was 2 games ago against Winnipeg. So certainly an upward trajectory for Misa. I wrote about him in my newsletter for Friday. So you can check that out if you want more on. I don't think I wrote too much more about Michael Misa, but great prospect. And certainly coming into his own at just 3,100 here. I think you play him with one or both of his line mates, though, just given they're good fantasy producers as well. So you want to bet on Misa from someone, basically. Bets wise, is there anything for Orlov? That's about guessing.
Yeah, I'm not doing it personally, but if it tickles your fancy, then have fun. I just think the guy's pretty bad. He is plus 390 for a power play point. So not even, cool.
Will Smith shots looks considerably better on DK for 2.5 than the other books. 120. Not my favorite, but not the worst. So maybe that's like I'm tilting, losing at 9:45 and throw in some Will Smith stuff. That's about all I can see working though for me. The ladder up to
Cool.
5 is plus 750. All right. We have 7 minutes before the showdown slate starts. I have 17 minutes before the tennis starts. What should we do now?
We should probably just do top sacks guaranteed goals and get out of here. What do you mean?
What a concept. All right, let's do that.
Top sack on the 7 o'clock slate for me, I suppose, is going to be, you know what? I'm just gonna stick to the Tampa of it all and just say Kucherov, Gensel, Radish. It's certainly not a cheap stack, so do with that what you wish.
Kempe, Panarin, Clark. Hee-haw. Let's go.
Couldn't be more shocked. Simply couldn't be more shocked. I really, man, I want to get cheap with Carolina. That's what I want to do, but I feel like that's the donkey brain in me speaking, and not anything that's actually going to work. Do you have another stack?
No, but I can do Stützle, Batherson, Sanderson.
Okay, sounds good. I'll do whatever. I'm sure it doesn't really fit, but I'll do, to make it cheaper though, I'll go Perfetti, Marilainen, and Velarde. Honestly though, holy crap, Morrissey's 5,100. Just do Morrissey instead.
Did you just say the name Marilainen?
It's not Marilainen. It's Mala, whatever it is. You know what I'm talking about.
No,
I have to look at his name. It's, what's his name? It's freaking Salamonson. There we go. I'm mixing up the similar sounding names.
Why the hell? Okay, whatever. Josh Morrissey's 5,100, but okay.
I just said I'm going to play Morrissey instead.
Why did my dad just text me? No fucking way. I don't know. I don't know if that's concerning or not. Did the Bills do something? All right.
I'm sorry.
I was just spitballing. I got a text from my dad that rattled me. It says no fucking way, and I have not texted him today, so I don't know what happened.
You bet Rory?
All right. Guarantee goals. We are doing our parlay thing, so
yeah. I mean, is Batherson just locked in?
I think Batherson's in, yeah.
Okay, Batherson is in. So I was trying to look. I don't see anything about the Bills doing anything. What, they signed a center?
I don't know. I'm very confused.
Okay.
Oh, was he watching?
Well, let's get out.
UConn lose? Maybe UConn lost in the.
That did happen.
1 seed.
I think that's over.
Okay.
Let's goals and let's get out of here. We're as off the rails as we've ever been at this point now, as we're stumbling to the finish line. My mic is like cutting out. It's just pissing me off, and I can't like
staggering our way.
All right. Batherson is one of my picks. You give me someone else.
Batherson's one of your picks. Okay, interesting. I did not realize that was the game we were playing.
You're braver than me, so you can have better takes.
I am going to, I'm going to be super brave. I'm going to pick a Leaf. Who should we go with? Nylander, Matthews.
Yeah, I mean, here are the players. I'll give you a few players I like. Okay, I think that I'm not sure if it's best on DraftKings though. Where is Gunther? Yeah, it's best on DraftKings plus 190 for Gunther. I thought that was kind of odd.
Okay. Do you want to add that one, DJ?
Yeah, let's do Gunther, Batherson. I mean, do you like the Shen one? Feels like, what are we really doing here? But I do find that kind of interesting that it's so...
like it's 340, which is a crazy difference, but also like, I mean, William Nylander's plus 200. Like,
yeah, I don't hate that. I definitely don't hate the Nylander call. It's not best on DK, if that matters to you.
It's not, and it does, but I don't think it matters enough to make me go, oh, well, actually, I'm not betting.
Wait, what about Laferriere? Laferriere is plus 265.
I like that.
I like that a lot. Top power play. He's shooting like a bazillion pucks. So
Yeah.
I like Leferrier a lot. Net front. I mean, I don't hate Nylander. I wouldn't hate clicking on a Winnipeg Jet.
I don't think I can get there on the Jets. I'll be honest.
Okay. Well, you hate money, so it makes sense. Wouldn't hate an Islander. I wouldn't hate a Jet. I mean, Horvat plus 150, I think, was best on DK.
Horvat?
You just want to be.
I'm in.
I think it was best. I don't even remember.
160 on 160 on FanDuel.
Whatever. Let's just do Horvat.
Barzal's best. Barzal is best on DK plus 200. I don't
Let's
really
go.
think it matters between them.
No. Barzal is also very good at hockey. Okay. There we go. $4,000 on 25. Okay, cool. It's hitting, folks. Right. It's hitting.
It's
for
hitting.
That price it can hit. Okay. Good stumbles at Batherson, Gunther, Leferrier, Barzal. Sounds like goals to me.
Goals aplenty. Anything else?
No, I will be posting all these bets, including, I guess at this point, not going to be including the Cooley situation, which Cooley is not with Perot at 5 on 5, but hopefully that changes.
Yeah.
Well, still, again, they might score more than one goal. Who's to say? And he might be top power play. We really don't know. But yeah, I think the betting slips will be posted coming shortly. It'll be in the Discord as well. Someone asked me if I could post them in Discord. No problem at all.
Yes.
Other than that, I think we just ride off into the sunset. My wife is making a ton of noise trying to clean around me, so I can tell my time is up.
I think our time should very well be up. I will be posting tennis stuff in the Discord in the next few minutes, so go there if you're looking for the 310 lock on tennis. The bets, I will get to that sometime afterward this afternoon for my end, because I've been posting a few bets in there. I don't do the full menu of items, but I'll pick my favorite. And then for the main slate, we'll also be in the Discord, just hanging out, news, sweating, whatever you want to do. Come hang out with us. DM me at Fake Moods or
sweaty dudes
at DJ_Mitchell94, and we can send you a link for that. Thank you all for hanging out. Yes. All right. Let's get out of here. Thank you all for listening. From Doug, from DJ, from myself. Have a wonderful Saturday, everybody, and we will see ya.
You're sitting there looking like an idiot.
Well, is that any different than normal?
This is the first time I will admit was unbelievably wrong.